Well. Good evening, folks, and welcome to something new. It's Suzerain. I'm looking forward to this. Good evening, Ollie. Welcome. Oliver, good to see you. Good to see you. Nameless Crusader, welcome. Joker Jake Chan, welcome one and all. Welcome. Catherine, good evening to you. Mikhail, welcome too. There's a Rumberg on that map. Where? Oh, it's the biggest place. How fitting. It's like they knew I was coming. Right, I'm going to kick my slippers off, because it's time to get stuck in. When the slippers come off, it's serious business. If I had kids, it's because I'd be hitting them with the slipper, because I've done something wrong, but I don't. So, when the slippers come off, it means I'm ready to get stuck into a game. Right, can I send you the thumbnail with a picture of my face? No! Because you're going to do something untoward with it. Superimpose my face onto the thumbnail of the guy whose name I've forgotten already. Okay, I will do. Hello Pete, welcome to you too. It will be funny. Yeah, for you and everybody else looking, not for me. I'm bloody the butt of everybody's jokes. Right, okay, so I installed this about 2-3 weeks ago. I basically was told, I can't remember who mentioned it, but somebody said, oh, you might want to look at the lore of the game first before you start playing. So this morning I spent about 45 minutes having a read through some of the lore of the history of Sordland. The previous rulers, the place was previously run by aristocrats, and then it became a constitutional monarchy for a little bit, and then the monarchy was overthrown, and the era of the Republic began, and it got off to a stuttery start because the first guy, who names don't ask me, they'll no doubt be cropping up in here, he got overthrown by a military guy. Then that military guy got overtaken by a colonel fella who then became the president for 20 odd years. And then he got beaten in he won 5 elections, this fella. Sol, I think his surname was, something Sol. He won many elections, and he nationalised things, and he introduced loads of kind of modernisation, I suppose, into the lands. And then eventually, as with all things, when things drag on for a while, people get a bit bored and want change, and after 20 years people voted for another guy, and the other guy came in and he privatised everything, did a few other little bits, and then there was a big recession. I think the game is based in the 1950s. Big recession. And then our character, was an up-and-coming politician, was a private in the army initially, but just did his service, and then rose through the ranks, and here we are in control of him, I assume, as the new president. And he's probably going to have a lot on his plate because recession, finances are not good, people are probably not happy. So we'll see. That's a whistle-stop tour of the history of the place. I've done a little bit of research, but it was this morning, so the finer details not really there. But there's enough. I've read enough to be able to not be overwhelmed by loads of lore and information when we start, because I've read quite a bit. The Shaven place is a nice little port town. We've got this place here, quite a hot pot of different nationalities, a bit of religious and cultural unrest down there, for example. The capital is Sword, which is busy place, rather political. Quite a lot of the higher ups residing here, and but it's got 3 pretty decent universities. Right. Anyway, Dude I Rock, welcome. Good to see you again. I'm pretty good today. Pretty good. Horse racing didn't go so well. It's very rare that I have a losing day on the horse racing because I do trade the horses in play. So I've got a nice little strategy that works for the jumps racing. But today it didn't work so well, so that was not good. But football came around and we played football this evening at 5, nice and early. And it's usually a close game between us two teams, and we're like, when it comes to two teams that don't like each other very much, that's us and them. There's a couple of players on their side, and the guy that runs them is just a gobshite, pardon the French, but he's an absolute gobshite, shouting and carrying on at the sidelines, shouting at the ref, and his son is a little... Anyway, so lo and behold, we were expecting a tough game, and we won 7-0. So it was tough after all. So it's always good to get one over on them. So I was like, after the game, I was like, smiling to myself. So that made me evening. Anyway, enough flim-flam. It's time to dive in. It's a new game. I don't know where my camera is best positioned, but we'll move it if it's covering stuff. Let me know what the sound levels are like, because it's a new game. I have turned the master volume down a touch because it seemed a bit loud in my ears, so it must be loud for you guys. Maybe something like that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. But yeah, if it is tweaking or turning up, just let me know. This is the extent of the options, which always goes down well with me, because when options upon options upon options upon options, it's like, oh, it's overwhelming. Take Baldur's Gate 3, which is obviously a fantastic game, but you go into the options there for the first time and it's like, oh, there's loads. What does that do? What's that option do? What does that mean? Oh, shall I turn it on? Shall I turn it off? Oh, I'll just leave it for now and see what it is. Whereas here, volume, graphics, change the font if you want. Typewriter, what's that? I don't bloody know, but turn it on. It's the 50s. Typewriters were all the rage, apparently. So, okay, without further ado, apparently it's some kind of an RPG-ish kind of narrative affair. We're in control of this president, and I'm assuming that, like all games like this that we've played in the past, I will probably end up failing it. Probably end prematurely, end in disaster, they'll probably get assassinated or something, and it'll be another game to add to the list of failures. You know, like Not Tonight, like, you know, the Sobranti game. What else have we cocked up? Beat Cop We Died, I think, as well. You know, these games stick in the memory of epic failure. It was a League Game Jam, yes, and hello, welcome Alpha Sword. Good to see you too. Right, come on then, let's crack on. And of course, feel free to chip in if you want. I don't know what the game's about. I don't know if you can help out and stuff for decision making. If I'm the president, I might want some council members to help and advisors to help advise. So let's see what happens as we dive in to Suzerain. Enter new game name. Okay, I'm going to be really out there and creative for this. Bear with me, folks. Oh. There you go. 13th Stardew Valley stream count as failure. What, is that the stream where we blew up the stuff with the bomb? Let's play it as a Total War game. If only we could. Right. Torpor mode enabled. This mode disables manual saving and enables achievements. You can only turn it off after completing the story once. So there's no save scumming here, folks, which is fine because we don't do that anyway. So that's fine. Right, so this is the Republic of Sordland. Not to be confused with swords, of course. It's a presidential republic with a population of 37 million. It's currently in a recession, as I outlined at the start. We're in a recession at the minute. Regional influence, major power. We are a major power in the region. Clearly not as powerful as Rumburg, because Rum has got all the rum, so clearly that's a very powerful place. Many a bartering can be done there. Starting date 1954. Oh, that's our name, Rain. Anton Rain. Great moustache. He's been elected the 4th president of Sordland. So the first president was the guy that only ruled for a short time, got overthrown by the military man. Military man ruled for 20 years and got over. Then he got out, basically beaten in an election, but didn't actually step down until 3 years later. A bit bizarre. And then the other guy ruled for, I can't remember how long he ruled for, but he's the guy that privatised everything. And then he's gone, and now we are here, having won the latest election as the 4th president of Sordland. Amidst a deep recession, demands for reform and external pressures. Nothing like coming into power when there's a lot of mess to mop up. If I was you, if I was going to be running for Prime Minister or President, I'd time it. I'd time it. If it looks like it's gone to hell in a handbasket, I'd be like, oh, don't think I'll put my name forward for this term. Oh, good grief. It's a no-win situation. I think I'll do some more studying and maybe try my hand in 4 years' time. How about that? Right, come on then. Let's start this story. Whew. I'm looking forward to this one. And if it all goes well, maybe we'll have a session of democracy after this whilst we're in the political mode. Because I still want to play a session of democracy where we actually are successful. You are my enslavement and my freedom. You are my flesh burning like a raw summer night. You are my country. Oh, we're gonna get the history of sort. Oh, this is interesting. Hang on. In politics, timing is everything. Politicians are the ones that can adapt to the situation. Good words. Timing is everything in politics. That's very true. I was reading an article on Friday at work because it was quiet. It was on, I was on a coffee break, and basically, people are crying out in the UK for an overhaul of the council tax system, because the council tax system is very, very, very dated. It's based on house prices from like the 1970s or 80s or something ridiculous. Or was it the 90s maybe even? Might be the 90s actually, to be fair. But anyway, it's based on house prices from years ago. And so people are complaining now because some people in poorer areas, just because the value of their house at the time of where they took a stock check of all the prices of houses was quite, was in a certain band, and they get a lot of these newer houses in central London or in London, which apparently are lower banded, and there's a big uproar apparently. That's what I was reading. Anyway, the moral of the story was that nobody is going to be doing that when there's an election around the corner. Timing, you see. Timing is everything. Why ruffle feathers when there's an election around the corner? As if that's going to save the damn Conservatives at this point. Absolute shower. An absolute shower. Right. So 1908, Kingdom of Sordland. You opened your eyes to this world. You came from... So we were born, is this when we were born then, 1908? I thought the guy's backstory was predefined. Are we actually setting our character's backstory? A wealthy family in the city of Lashaven, this is the port town. A middle-income family in the city of Hallsword, that's... Is that the capital? I've forgotten. An impoverished family in the city of Dare. Now, I don't know about you, but the fella's portrait, moustache, smart suit, looked quite well-to-do. We could play him as an impoverished fella that rose through the ranks, so he understands the needs of the people. We could play him, as most politicians, as a wealthy so-and-so that is out of touch with the life of the lesser folk, or a kind of middle-of-the-road fella. Any preferences? You don't just sit there. This is an interactive show. I'm thinking... I'm quite tempted to play him as a man of the people. A man of the people. He's quite sharp. He's quite politically sharp. He's risen through the political ranks quite quickly. We're all poor around here. 2 or 3. I'm leaning 3. 2 or 3. Crazy Canuck votes for 3. Left-wing populist. Oh, you'll have to explain these political terminologies. As you well know, I don't do politics at all. I know roughly what left-wing means and right-wing, but that's about it. Right. Impoverished family in the city of Dare. Labour. Who's that Labour? Oh, I should know that. I vote for Labour usually. If I do vote, I do vote. I have been given a vote, I do vote. They're all as bad as each other though, aren't they? Okay. Imagine Donald Trump, but actually a good person that cares for the small guy. Everyone wants to stick it to the big companies. Share the wealth. Okay, I like that. Populist sounds like a good approach. Not good for your peers, but for the little man on the street, he'll be singing our praises. You know. So I do think we have come from an impoverished family in the city of Dare. But that did not stop us, for we still achieved our dream. Your parents named you Anton. As the only child of a farmer, you spent your childhood among wheat fields. This could be interesting. We could be drawn. Anything that involves farmers, they get our vote, they get our attention. It's all about the farmers. Life was not easy. You were too poor to afford a good education. The Rain family was caring regardless of the economically dire situation. Your parents always did their best to support you. How on earth have you risen through the ranks? Tell us, game. Tell us. The years pass by. During a history class at school at the age of 15, the bell started to ring unexpectedly. You heard a loud commotion outside. As everyone tried to figure out what was going on, the principal announced the historic revolution. The kingdom was no more. The Republic of Sordland was born. So this is what I was telling you about. We were a constitutional monarchy, and at some point it all fell tumbling down. And this is that point. And we were alive when that happened. We were somewhat worried. We did not fully understand. Or, like most kids of that age, we're just damn happy that we have the day off. What's going on out there? Don't concern me. I'm 15, for heaven's sake. What will be, will be. It's time to go home. We've got a day off. Or is that a bit narrow-minded? Interesting. We're 15. History class. We're a switched-on individual, so I don't think it's a case of we didn't understand. I think probably we may have some understanding of it at 15. We're not completely stupid. But yeah. Do you know what? No, we were worried. We were worried. We maybe had some inkling about the ramifications of this. It's a tumultuous time ahead. Uncertainty. You know, don't forget we're growing up in the farms and all that kind of jazz. You know, if things get any worse, it could be really bad. Yeah, I think we were worried. 3 years later, after graduating, you passed the university exam with high marks. Even though your family was poor, the public education system made it possible to go to university. You had the opportunity to choose between several studies. You chose law at the Hulsted State University, economics at the Leshaven Business School, or history at the Dare University of Culture. The one that stood out straight away was law. Although economics would be interesting, given that we're in a recession, but it's 1926. And I'm a maths person as well, personally. See you later, Nameless Crusader. Have a good day at work. But for some strange reason, we've got historians here, we've got people that are good at maths here, economics could be good. But that's a bit preemptive, you see. Mind you, hang on. I suppose that we've grown up kind of semi-impoverished, and we've grown up on a farm, you know, so obviously with farming, that's your income, and you know, exporting goods and stuff like that. It's all about the economy, economics, and if we, you know, our view is we want to rise ourselves up. So economics would be a good study. Going into economics with a view, hopefully, to putting that to good use, to maybe even start a business, or you know, enhance our lot in life, to quote the old sobriety. So I don't know what we're going to go with economics. I think we are. Leshaven Business School, the port town, Leshaven. We studied economics because it will stand us in good stead, even if it was, take over the family farm or maybe even sell it, who knows. So, let's go with economics. During the first year, we attended a lecture with David Wishy. Now, Wishy was the name that sprung out to me there, because Wishy was the name of the guy that was the first president of Sordland, Arthur Wishy, who I think died in the conflict, actually. He only ruled for like a very short time, but this is his son, our mentor and teacher. Interesting. He's a well-known diplomat from the Foreign Ministry and the son of the president. So this will be the time where this president is currently still alive, 1926. So we are being tutored by the son of the president. That is rather quite something, isn't it? After observing the Holy Silence, he explained why a market economy is better for Sordland. He argued for a system where prices for goods and services are determined by the open market. You agreed in principle, you questioned what you were being taught, your only concern was passing the exams. I always think it's good to ask questions. Never take things at face value. Why? Ask the questions. Why? Why? Why is it better option for Sordland, Mr. Wishy? We don't know, apparently. We never told. 1927, May 22nd. Soldiers entered the campus in the evening ahead of the first election. Many were in shock as the uniformed men created a security cordon and started arresting the teachers. A group of students started gathering in protest, along with your best friend, Peter Vecton. We could protest, or we could avoid confrontation. So the soldiers storm in. People are shocked. Uniformed men created a security cordon, arresting teachers. Students start gathering in protest. Protest with the students, avoid any confrontation. You know, it's 1927, like 19 years old, young, impressionable. We're going to join the protests. Oh, no, what's going on here? One of the officers made the loud announcement that echoed through the campus. General Luderin, the nationalist general who led a military coup and declared martial law in order to restore the administration. Please stand back and disperse to your rooms, says the officers over a loud announcement. You join the students that slowly march towards a large group of soldiers. And suddenly, they charged. A student fell and was trampled as everybody started running away. No, we're going to stand fast here. Once you're in, you're all in. There's no half-hearted measures here. It's like a football tackle. If you go in for a football tackle with a half-hearted effort, oh, I might get hurt, I should have, by the time you've messed about, you've injured yourself. So every time I go into a tackle, it's completely and utterly with 100% gusto. Because that way, you're less likely to get hurt. Take last Tuesday, very briefly here. 50-50 ball, I'm running down, another guy's running down, and it's like, right, well, I'm going in for this. So I went, boom, full pelt, kicked the ball as hard as I could. But we both kicked it at the same time, as I was anticipating happening. So straight through, ball went flying around, I carried on running, and he, slight injury. It's like, I did apologise, I didn't really injure the guy, but, it's like, yeah, that's why I always go in with full gusto. Full gusto, hold your ground, and we got beaten relentlessly. It was a gloomy year, oh dear. The majority of the students and teachers displayed their opposition. Thus, Leshaven became a target for the military regime. You didn't want to stay idle and decided to join. Well, considering our future, we become president, I probably would like to suggest that we will join either 2 or 3 here. I'm thinking a student council, actually. I'm thinking, as a starter. There's no point of debating politics at the moment. It's a bloody coup. Politics is out the window. But, listening to the students, being on the council, helping our fellow student out where we can, I think it's a good start for one's political career. We got a taste for politics when we became a student councillor. Human rights group? Oh, no thanks. The council was focused on increasing the student involvement in the campus along with partaking in the budget, economics and all that. Through active participation, you gained budget management and leadership skills. Perfect. In one of the meetings, Peter Vecton introduced you to a classmate of his, Monica. My dear Monica. You were immediately attracted to, now, interesting, intelligence, diligence or beauty. For a long-lasting relationship, it's more than just looks, isn't it? It's more than just looks. And, being of an education, certain education, the first thing that did stand out actually was her intelligence. Sharp as a tack, she was. Ooh, caught our attention, she did, our dear Monica. She mentioned to you that she was a volunteer for the Sordland League of Women, an organisation campaigning for women's rights. You told her you wholeheartedly supported her cause, of course. Not interested in women's rights, but can I go to dinner? No, of course not. Wholeheartedly supported her cause. The politically charged environment led you to join the Red Youth, the Socialists, join the Young Swords, the Nationalists. Stay away from any political organisations. Ooh, socialists or nationalists? Okay, this is where my lack of politicalness comes in. So nationalists, I'm assuming nationalists is all about like patriotism, is it? That kind of jazz? And socialist? What's socialist mean? I may sound stupid, but I completely, as you know, I don't do religion, I don't do politics. I ain't got a clue. Maybe I ain't got a clue. Is it like socialist? Is socialist the opposite of capitalist? Is that the right axis? Yes. Okay, so maybe I'm not so stupid. Kinda. Okay. Which is interesting because we went for economics, you see. But that doesn't mean that we can't use our economics to form opinions and stuff. Right, okay, so nationalism then. Well, the nation is in a complete and utter disarray in a minute, isn't it? I mean, bloody hell. The Red Youth, the Young Swords, fighting for a better Sordland. I don't know what impact this is going to have for me to have to debate this for a long time. Obviously, I don't know what I'm trying to think of. How I want to proceed onwards in the playthrough in general. A man of the people, not of the party. You know what? We're going to join the Red Youth. I mean, we could just abstain from political organisations at all and let them crack on, but I think this is where we're getting our taste for politics. I think this is where we're getting our taste for politics. So I think we have to join. I think we have to join one. I think we're going to go socialist. I think that resonates quite well. So this is 1928, June the 2nd, the Civil War commences. The radio relayed that the Communist General Ricard surrounded Suzerain and his troops, demanding their surrender. They refused and heavy fighting broke out across the country. You just couldn't believe it. The army was fighting amongst themselves. Sordland was plunged into chaos. Ricard his sudden attack caused more instability in the country, but compared to fascist Suzerain, he was a real socialist. This convinced you to participate in a support march. You were chanting, "Bring down the fascist scum! Workers of the world unite! Freedom, equality and solidarity." That seems quite measured. Quite a measured chant, rather than "bring down fascist scum." A bit too dramatic, a bit more measured. Freedom, equality and solidarity. That's what we need around here. Not this bloody fighting amongst yourselves, you idiots. Yes, that's what we like to hear. You are marching under the protection of Ricard's soldiers. The students supporting Suzerain's coup gathered a few hundred metres in front of you. Many nationalists were among them. You knew something was going to happen. So we're the socialist side. We are the Ricard side. They are the Suzerain side, nationalists over the side. Students facing off against students here. It's all gone to hell in a handbasket. And we, of course, had to stay. We're not running away from this. In for a penny, in for a pound. There was a massive clash between the two sides. Soldiers began to beat the students. Tanks started rolling forward. In this chaotic moment, you saw a young girl about to get run over by a tank. You ran to save her, or you... Oh, this is like Sabranti all over again. How many lives have I got? Oh, goodness me. Of course, we could shout out a warning. However, we're a man of action. We're a man of action and a man of the people. At this early age, we ran to save her. But you couldn't reach her in time. Maybe we should have shouted. Maybe warning was quicker. Hey up, love, get out of the way. Rather than running to her and taking time. God. But she was crushed by a tank, and we will never forget her face. Haunts us to this day, in fact. That's quite scarring, is that? That's quite scarring, you know. I mean, might do something about how we proceed forwards with our decision making, who knows? But that haunts us. The clashes escalated into full-blown civil war. The horrors made you isolate yourself for a while. Monica, our love, helped you cope, and love grew between the two of you. However, it was a difficult time for love. Yeah. Wars will do that. Yeah. Puts things a little bit on hold, doesn't it? The chaos had to end. Somebody shared with me a news article this morning, actually. And I can't remember who it was, but basically somebody had suggested that the UK start thinking about recruiting a 500,000 strong civilian militia because they're worried about a war with Russia. I read that this morning. I was like, is this real? Is this real? Because don't expect me to be signing up. Bloody hell, having a laugh. Military service? I don't think so. I'm off to Jamaica, mate. I'll cash in on my dad's side of the family. I'll get a dual passport. It's not a problem. I'm doing a runner. Former general it was, I think. Oh, well, there you go. I mean, if it's a former general, he probably has a little bit of... He probably knows a bit about warfare, doesn't he, then, to be fair to the man. But, yeah, that's an interesting prospect, I'll tell you that much. Well, that's what it sounded like. It was all... I don't think it was quite as like conscription as in you have to fight, but, you know, almost like, well, you know, put the offer out. Anybody want to do some fighting? Almost like the territorial army style, voluntarily. And hello, welcome to Phoenix. Welcome. Okay. 1929, and here's the fella that I told you about earlier. This is the man, Colonel Tarquin Saul, who was effectively the second president, but is regarded as the first, because the first president only ruled for a very short time. The famous colonel who re-established the Republic after the chaos. But anyway, the charismatic Tarquin orchestrated a sudden attack on the capital, where the Ludinist and Ricardist forces were battling each other. He defeated both, thus ending the war. A new constitution was written, and the military government began efforts to restore stability. Many people saw the colonel as a saviour. He formed the United Sordland Party, or the USP for short, and ran as a presidential candidate. And of course, having saved the country, it was a single party election, so hey, I'm in. Hey! And did we vote for them or did we not vote for them? Well, we joined this party, so I'm assuming we probably voted for them. So, you know, we'll go down that line, seeing as we ended up as... Spoiler alert, you know, it's part of the game. We ended up ahead of the Sordland Party, so yeah. Good evening, Stefan. Welcome. June 1929. USP won the election by a large majority. The military government announced a 4-year restoration period to transform to an entirely civilian government. After graduation, you kept seeing Monica. You were both interested in marrying and starting a family. However, a letter arrived from the military, calling you to fulfill your compulsory service. Remember what I said earlier? He did a short stint as a private. This is that. It was your time to serve your national duty. Bergia region, 1930. A devastating civil war broke out in the neighbouring country, Wales. Young and fragile, it quickly turned into a proxy war between regional and world powers. The distinguished Major, Josef Lancia, ordered you to lead your squad on a border patrol mission. Oh, responsibility. It was a very cold winter night when you began marching out of Gumrun Outpost. You could see your breath. Quite fitting that I've just watched Band of Brothers, actually, which was a very good series. I'm obviously like 22 years late to the thing, but it was fantastic. And now, rather fortuitously actually, the Masters of the Air was released last week, which is spiritual successor. I haven't seen the Pacific yet, so I might watch that first and then Masters of Air last, but I'm going to go through the entire lot. But anyway, our breath steaming in the cold air. After several hours of marching through the snowy hills, distant noises were heard. Visibility was too low to confirm the source, so the squad crawled forward in formation and found a spot to observe. A group of refugees had made it beyond the border. You escorted them back, let them slip through. So I'm assuming that these refugees are coming from the war-torn Bergia towards kind of Sordland. So if we're escorting them back, we're escorting them back into where they've just come from, which is the war-torn place. Alternatively, we could let them slip through to safety. A bit dangerous because we don't know who they are. They could be spies. But maybe our little soft of heart and all about the people, it's not these poor people's fault that their land is ravaged by war. Let them in. Let them in. Let them in. Let them in. Aurelia, welcome. Guten Tag indeed. Good evening to you. Right, I think we're going to let them slip through. Oh dear. After the patrol, Major Lancia arrived with anger and immediately relieved you of your command, calling you a disappointment. Look, I'm a politician. I'm not made for this war nonsense. One of your squad members had reported your actions. After several months of scrubbing the floors as punishment, your duties ended and you went back to civilian life. Maybe we did it on purpose to get out. Successful military, exactly. Look at that. We were a raving success. That's when we knew that military was not for us. 1931, Hull Sword, the Wailing Civil War. I don't know if it's still going on, but we are out of there. We got to get out of jail free cards. Let a few refugees feel you'll scrub a few floors and they'll discharge you. Oh, that's the way to get out of it. You and Monica decided to share your lives together after receiving the blessing of her parents. A ceremony was held in Holsword. During the same year, you worked hard to secure a high-paying job within the governing United Sordland Party, whom of which we voted for, of course. It was much more difficult to start your career on a good foot because of the refugee incident, but you still just about managed. Working for the ruling party was the easiest path to power. The financial compensation was too great to pass up, or it was the best opportunity to change the country for the better. Of course it was. Of Come on now, we're a man of the people here. I'm not bothered about easier paths. I'm not bothered about financial compensation. Change for the better. Should be our motto. That is our motto, I've just decided. Change for the better. That is our tagline. Change for the better. Vote for us. What's our name again? I've forgotten. What's our name? What's our name? Flippin' hell. You became the economics assistant to one of the more experienced members of the Assembly. Now, I don't know if this is actually predetermined or if this is a result of our education. Because if it's predetermined already, as in it was going to be economic support regardless, then we picked our degree very well, didn't we? You worked long and hard, investigating hundreds of pages of economic reports late into the night. You were climbing the ladder. In 1933, Tarquin Sol gave amnesty to the remaining factions of the Civil War and chose de-escalation and appeasement. The institutions and symbols of the former kingdom were slowly replaced. His government launched several new initiatives, such as citizen-funded bills program to revitalise the economy, a social labour initiative to help rebuild and improve society, and a large dam project to solve the energy crisis. The first multi-party elections in the history of Sordland were held, and Tarquin Sol was elected once more. I mean, still fresh in the mind, military hero, and now all these new initiatives. Up and running, the people love him. And in 1934, the new 5-year plan and the subsequent financial work put you under a lot of pressure. But your significant contribution to the economic strategy triggered an invitation to meet President Sol himself, who offered you a key position. You were to become the youngest member of Assembly. Oh, we accept right away. Of course we do. No doubts. No doubts at all. No. This is a great man doing great things. We are rising through the ranks. Things are looking good. We are learning along the way. Rising career, 1938. As the youngest MP, it was difficult to connect with the influential inner circle, old fuddy-duddies. You needed allies, so you brought on our good friend, Peter Vecton, as our very own right-hand man. The birth of your son Frank proved a brief moment of joy and relief. You sacrificed work to spend time with your family, or you sacrificed family time to improve your position in the party. This is always a difficult situation, isn't it? This is a very difficult situation for many a business person, a workaholic. And a lot of people do neglect family for the purposes of their business. Hello, Marcus, welcome. Well, you've put it in, you've done it. Oh, what have you done, Liv? What have you done? This is a tough one. I think, it's our son, it's our firstborn. We love our wife very dearly. I'm hoping that we're switched on enough that we can juggle a little bit, but we're a young MP. We're a young MP where we've got prospects ahead of us. Therefore, spending just that extra bit of time with our firstborn, time that we will never get back again, even if we have to come back stronger in 4 or 5 years' time because we stall a bit because we're sacrificing a bit of work for the family life. We've got a long time ahead of us. It might tarnish our reputation a bit, but hey, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But yeah, family time is important. Otherwise, we're going to work ourselves into an early grave. And of course, we have Peter Vecton picking up the slack. During our absence, Peter Vecton found trustworthy contacts and strengthened your position in the party. Bit of political wrangling here. At the same time, President Sol increased his authority over the years. His growing ego started to cause strife, however, within the party. The cracks start to show. President Sol barely secured a majority in the election against the opposition leader in 1945. This was his 5th election win, by the way. Over the next year, the Sordland people grew increasingly discontent with corruption and the worsening quality of life. Meanwhile, calls for a united Sordland Party Congress became louder as a leadership struggle started to brew. We watched from the sidelines, nobody likes an abstainer, kept supporting the president or joined the internal opposition. Now, he's had 5 election victories, he's aging, the people are discontent, the quality of life is worsening, there's corruption, it's just all going wrong. Supporting the president is not wise. We joined the internal opposition. You gave your support to Ewald Alfonso, a reformist businessman who was the main contender for party leadership. Meanwhile, in a desperate effort to secure votes before the Congress, President Sol was meeting party members one by one. But he didn't approach us. The Congress was nothing short of impressive. The banners of the United Sordland Party were decorating every possible spot. Thousands of influential political figures, lobbyists and benefactors gathered for this turning point. The voting for the party leadership began. And we voted for Ewald Alfonso, of course. The efforts bore fruit, as the contentious leadership vote was won by none other than Ewald Alfonso. During the Congress, Tarquin Sol announced he would retire from politics at the end of his term and appointed Alfonso as vice president. You knew the structure he had established was to stay. The country had become increasingly authoritarian. Sometimes these words, you can't say them. You were very happy that Sol was finally leaving. You were troubled by the departure. You didn't care about who was in charge. No, we were happy. He's had his time. He's served 5 terms, for heaven's sake. Don't be bloody greedy. We were happy for the man, for a start. He can rest. You know, cracks were showing, wrinkles. You look wizened, grey. Retire, man. Retire. We're happy for him, but we're also happy for change, because change brings opportunity. A month later, your daughter was born. Dina. She motivated you during a tumultuous period in the party. As the vice president and the leader of the USP, Ewald Alfonso began dismantling the old organisations and structures established by the USP, such as the State Educator Corps and the Sordland State Corporation Bills. The general elections were approaching. The United Sordland Party was under new leadership. You... Ooh, now this is rather interesting. We could join the party effort and campaign for him, or we could not help him. I mean, we voted for him, for heaven's sake. We might as well get behind the man. So here comes 1949. The uncertain years begin, October the 15th. During the general elections, the main opposition leader was embroiled in a sex scandal with his secretary. I did not have relations. He was replaced by the more popular figure, Franz Richter. But the damage had been done. I wonder if he's going to be in the game when we start playing properly. The new economic policies and the extensive privatisation programme proposed by Ewald secured an election victory for the United Sordland Party. So over the following years, you did your best in order to make Sordland a better place, tried all that was necessary to climb up the ladder, dedicated yourself to the party and its success. Well, no. As we said, we are all about the people, and we are trying to give the people a better lot in life, and therefore we need to ensure that Sordland is the best place it could possibly be. Easier said than done, but the intention was there. And so begins a new Sordland. In 1951, the presidency of Alfonso saw many bold reforms in government and law and advancements in liberal democratic values. He valued your support throughout. However, due to infighting and disorganisation, continental economic tensions and fast-track privatisation, it was followed by a severe economic recession. The other parties announced their bids for the 1953 election, but the unfair election system hampered opposition efforts to campaign. You were worried about the recession, worried that my reputation would be tarnished, or thought that your party could not survive another crisis. Hello? What? On Saturday? Yeah, I can go on Saturday. All right. I don't know if I'm... Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. Another crisis cannot be survived here, so I'm assuming this is us stepping up to the plate to take action to do something about it. Is this not where we maybe put our own hand in the fire? Maybe. With Peter's help, your presence in the USP grew. The two of you worked long nights together. He flipped opponents to your side. You became the face of a new wing of the party. Step by step, and with adequate planning, your wing took over the leadership as President Alfonso lost control of the country. The moment to make a move had come. We are not going to play a blame game here. We are certainly not going to be bribing anybody here. However, we will simply advise Alfonso that it is time to step down, laying out the facts bare on the table for him to see. It's time for change once again, Alfonso. I advise you to step down. He listened to your advice and conceded the leadership struggle, and the party eventually voted you in because of your indisputable influence. Following this, you announced that you would be running for president in the general election with Peter, my best mate, as our running mate. And so, it was our turn. After visiting every city and town during the campaign, you made a speech on state television. You promised to enact democratic reforms or preserve national values. Ooh, this is an interesting option. Enact democratic reforms. I think that some reforms are probably required. National values? What are national budget values? No, You know what? Reform. We need to reform. Actually, we need change. We're in a damn recession, heaven's sake. The people are tired of empty promises. We need fundamental change in our institutions and our government. A solid and transparent democracy awaits us. Brothers and sisters, a new constitution and a new age is upon us. Rapturous applause. Ah, we love you. On election day, millions went out to cast their votes, and it was time to face the truth. And that was the prologue, folks. Oh, we get to actually customise our character, Jesus. Anton Rain. So, 4th President of Sordland, 1954 elected, USP party, there's our signature. Where's the declare war button? Choose the distinct look of President Anton Rain. The confirmed style will remain throughout the story and you won't be able to change it later. Oh, we get to change it. Oh my god. You should always trust a man with a hat. It looks like some kind of flipping drugs cartel, man. All he's missing is a cigar in his mouth. Right. White Trilby. Jesus, what? Swordish Fedora, you say? Oh, we're wearing a fedora, my friends. We have to do. Facial hair. Lots of facial hair. What if a cigar is an accessory? A pipe is an accessory. Right, facial hair. Look at him. Idealist, clean shaven. Never trust a man that's clean shaven, I tell you. Intellectual. Sword gentleman. Swordist. Strategist. Theorist. Valgslandian. Markian noble, revolutionary, full mashings. Full mashings. Mind you, the Renan is like, Renan was the very, 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 very first people here. The aristocracy lot. Maybe we don't want to associate that far back. But it's a good look. Strategist was quite cool. I quite agree, actually. Chief strategist. Got the goatee effect. Regular strategist. What's the difference? Chief strategist, bit more hair possibly. I'm going with that look, I think. I'm thinking just goatee is more than enough. Attire. Maroon suit matches the maroon band on the fedora. It's got to be, and the maroon. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. Sordland first matches the colour of the hat, but and a bit of purple accent on the tie matches that, so that's a bit more subtle. Sordland first. Where are we off to? A dinner and dance. Grand. Nah. White suit. Default. I'm thinking that's pretty cool. I like that one. I like that one. Right, background. Office. Tan. Gold. Green. Maroon. Red. No, office is fine. Right, accessories. No accessories. Right, glasses. Glasses. Thin glasses. Oh, there is a cigar! Oh, we could create a drug cartel lookalike here. We could create that. Bear with me, folks. This is just for a bit of a laugh. Remember these ones. White Trilby. You know. What do mafia men wear? White suit. What kind of facial hair do mafia people have? Look at that. I have come to kidnap your children unless you pay the ransom. I mean, if you're wanting to get things done by brute force or through fear, then this is the man for the job. Goodness me! Right, back to the more welcoming look. We'll go with a pipe. Glasses or pipe? What do we reckon? It's the 50s. Everyone had a pipe in the 50s, didn't they? Pipe. Brown glasses. Brown glasses do look pretty cool too. Which political spectrum are we going for? We were an economist. A studious. This looks like a man that knows what he's doing. And that's what we need. A man whose face you can trust. This man walks in, everybody sits down. Oh, it's here, presidency. Not puffing on a pipe, alright? We're a non-smoker actually. I've decided we're a non-smoker. It's bad for you. We foresaw that before it became a thing. Is the music a bit loud? I can always turn it down if it is. Music is a tad loud. Oh cool, let's turn it down a touch then. Okay, how's that? Is that a bit better? It's gone quieter in my ears anyway, so I think it's gone down a little bit. This music must be louder than the menu, the prologue music then. Anyway, so there you go. This is our Anton Ray. And if I do say so, I think he looks pretty good. I think he looks pretty good. Much better than the base version that you get on the cover of the game. Are you sure about your choices? Yeah. Okay. Oh God. Oh. Now I thought that it was just going to be a little sit down, take a few, read a few things on the screen. Happy days. Apparently, we've got loads of things to worry about here. Oh no. Oh God. Anton Ray. Let's click on ourselves first. Okay. So, this is us. So we were in office for 4 years. Or we will be in office for 4 years when we've done our term. I don't know what year it is at the moment. Does it tell us what year it is at the moment? So we were preceded by this fella. Oh, look at that. We're not going to read any of this because I don't think it's relevant. It's nice to know. We've got a codex system. But there's a lot of reading to be done. Facecam is covering stuff. Right, hang on. I'm covering a little bit of the screen there, so let's move it. Hang on. It does have some heavy reading. Right, okay. Heavy reading, I might do off camera if I can. Right, let's put myself down here for now. Put myself down here. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Right. So this is our best mate, Peter Vecton. What I'll do is I'll read these off camera, and if there's anything quite fitting or something that's worth relaying to you guys, I can feed it into the streams. Maybe take some notes and stuff. I don't want to be reading loads of codexes, to be honest. But everything basically that's in blue, you can just click on it and it will give you it will literally give you everything that you possibly need. Oh, she's going to elementary school. Oh, how lovely. There's the party. My affiliations still with the Red Youth, apparently. Political organisation. Interesting. So that's a little bit about us. 2 kids, wife, economic school, got my best mate by my side as vice president. I mean, life's good, apart from the fact that the situation in the world is a bit higgledy-piggledy. Right, let's see what we've got here. So this is the Republic of Sordland. Status. Member of the Alliance of Nations, an international organisation formed by most of the countries on Earth focused on intergovernmental frameworks, mutual cooperation and solving conflicts. Like the UN or something, is it? OMEC. Economic development. Okay, so we're part of a couple of organisations, which is probably worth keeping as part of, to be honest with you. Open demographics. What's this? Ooh, my goodness me! There's a lot of stuff going on here. I didn't realise the game was this in depth. To be honest with you, I thought it was like I thought it was like I thought it was going to be like what do you call it? Like a Suzerain kind of an affair. This is. There's a lot of stuff going on here. A lot of stuff. Right. Okay. Presidential Republic. Capitals there. We speak Sordish. We are 16th in the GDP world ranking. Oh, hang on. Oh my God, more screens here. Right, okay, so we've got this. So ethnicity, we've got mostly Sordish, we've got Agno-Sordish, Bloodish, Lesbian. Religion is mostly Dasniriti. Doesn't mean a thing, does it? Last election, we've got USP got 37% of the vote. Got other parties here, PFJ, PJFJ, NFP, WPP, PPI, CK. Age, quite a lot of youngsters. Quite a lot of people under the age of 30, in fact. Then you've got a little wedge of 39 to 49, and you've got not many elderly people. Population per region, look at the population. GDP per region. Okay. 2 quite wealthy regions, the capital, of course, and the Nargis region. Poor old Lauren region down there. Country overview. There we go, let's have a look at this. So the military. God's sake. Right, currently at situations. Oh my goodness. What in the hellfire? Right. Let's get rid of that for a second. Is that everything about the country? About the Sordland? Yes. The Sordlands. Right, okay, so military policies. Compulsory military service is a thing here. Military operates as a conscripted force, where the duty of military service falls upon males upon reaching the age of 18. This mandatory conscription ensures a consistent and capable pool of personnel to uphold the nation's defence and security. Strengthening the overall resilience and readiness of the military. I don't think my camera's going to work down there either, to be honest with you. I'm going to put it here. Kind of floaty, a bit floaty there-ish. Let's try that. Okay. I just realised that I've not got the chat open. Right, so what have I missed? A young electorate. This is like a paradox game. Okay, so like UN, yep. I'm 46 already. Very similar to modern day Turkey. Put the camera on top of the portrait. That would be pretty cool, because it's me. But no, we can't cover this handsome fella. This is a face that we need to trust. We need to see him. Who's going to elect this face? Goodness me. I'm not wearing a hat for a start. Right. I think my dinner's ready. Jesus. Right, my dinner is piping hot, thankfully. Right. Our friends are back outside, you know, our friends in the white Golf, back outside. Apparently the mum's spied them through the camera. Now throwing their tab ends in our bin. As long as I don't burn the bins down. Every flipping night they just pull up. I can't understand it, I really can't. Anyway, my mum's rung the police and reported it. And I think it's going to be my turn next. And when I get on the phone, there's going to be a fuss kicked up. Anyway, so compulsory military service. Swordish General Staff. The Swordish General Staff, comprising esteemed and seasoned generals, serves as a pivotal military planning body. This esteemed assembly of top-ranking officers engages in meticulous strategizing and coordination to develop comprehensive plans and strategies. Okay, so we've got a general staff that oversee the military and gendarmerie under defence. The gendarmerie, an esteemed armed law enforcement organisation, stands as a bulwark in preserving security and public order, with a primary focus on rural security. Furthermore, the gendarmerie versatility allows it to be flexibly deployed to assist cities under the guidance and request of mayors, fortifying law enforcement capabilities and fostering safer environments as well. Okay. That's the military. What situations have we got going on in the military? They currently actively interfere in political landscape. We'll have to stamp that out. We can't be having the military interfering in politics. That's one big no-no for me. We've got outdated equipment. Should we be taking notes here? Our military equipment is outdated. Serious threat to the country's national security and combat readiness. The equipment, which has been in use for several decades, is no longer capable of meeting the demands of modern warfare, making it difficult for the armed forces to effectively respond to evolving threats. This has not only compromised the safety and security of Sordland, but has also weakened its standing as a regional military power. Okay, interesting. Internal security jurisdiction. The Ministry of Defence is responsible for maintaining security within Sordland, and this includes the use of the gendarmerie, a special military force. Okay, large reservist pool, which can be called upon during times of war or crisis. They have poor military experience, but can be rapidly mobilised to augment the main frontline forces. So, just like what I was explaining about the civil militia mantra earlier. So we've got military hardware, outdated, and we've got them interfering. Interfering is a big issue for me. I'm not a big fan of that. Experienced generals, though. Highly skilled and experienced generals who have served for many years. So we've got experienced generals, so that's good. It's a good start. It's a good sign. Oh, good. It's good. We've got something good going on. So that's our current situation with the military. Compulsive service. Got some gendarmeries. We've got a general staff that strategise. And we've got the situation with the interfering, the outdated military equipment. We've got a pool of reservists and experienced generals. What's that? I thought you were bringing some sort of dessert. I thought I'd not finished yet. Sorry, I'm just drizzling mint sauce on me dinner. Bear with me. Minty sauciness. Right, okay, very good. Right, so what's next? Law. A lot of reading involved here, folks. We'll read all this, then we'll have a look at some of what the buttons do. So, policies of law. Constitution amendments require Assembly and Supreme Court. A 2/3 majority vote in the Grand National Assembly and a simple majority vote in the Supreme Court is required for an amendment. That sounds quite democratic. We're not a dictator, so we'll roll with that. I mean, it might be an awkward thing if none of our amendments get passed, but that seems quite good. Honorary membership. A member of honour has absolute immunity and is a permanent member of the Grand National Assembly, aka Tarquin Sol. He's an honorary member of honour. He is entitled to his security team provided by the state's presidential guards. The member is also eligible to live in a special private residence provided by the state for free. The only member of honour so far is Tarquin Sol, as I just said. So that's pretty good. Immunity of justices. The justices of the Supreme Court are not held of individuals responsible for the actions performed in the exercise of their duties. This principle safeguards their independence and shields them from personal liability, while upholding the impartiality of their judicial decision making. Unlimited terms. That means we can have as many terms as we want. 5. Are we aiming for 5 people? Presidential decrees. According to Article 8 and 51, the President may issue decrees on political, social and economic issues that would carry the force of law. However, they could not contradict the Constitution and are subject to judicial review. The Assembly may pass legislation on the same subjects to override presidential decrees. Holy flipping cow, hang on a second. What's going on here? Whoa. Right, okay. Election threshold of 10%. According to Article 50 of the new Constitution, a political party needs a minimum of 10% of the total national vote to win seats in the Grand National Assembly. The votes of the parties who pass the threshold are redistributed proportionally. Ministers chosen from the Assembly. The President appoints ministers to the Council of Ministers from among the elected members of the Assembly. This process fosters political inclusiveness and allows for representation from various parties in the executive decision-making process. I am impeachable. We are impeachable. We know all about impeachment from the Donald Trump saga, so we should all be experts on that by now. The President may veto bills by returning it to the Assembly with a written statement. The veto power serves as a check and balance mechanism, allowing the President to express concerns and initiate further deliberations on proposed legislation. And the Bloodish Freedom Party is banned. Former President Tarquin Sol declared the Bloodish Freedom Party, or the BFP, to be an illegal criminal organisation due to their secessionist activities. Any suspected member of the party shall be arrested without trial. Oh dear. Special Zone of Bergia. Got a different governance structure than the rest of the country. Established by Tarquin Sol after the bloody revolts of the separationists, the Special Zone was aimed at eliminating the security threats in the region to maintain peace. Article 6 of the Swordist Constitution identifies all citizens as swords, irrespective of their ethnicities or cultures. Article 7 states that every sword is equal before the law, implying equal rights and responsibilities for all citizens. I mean, this all seems pretty, well, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah. Say obvious, but yeah, I mean, nothing screams out there as being underhanded or untoward, I don't think. So, current law situations. Oh, there we go. Court backlog. We've got a backlog in the courts, causing strain and delays in the administration of justice. The delays have resulted in disorder and frustration among the litigants, and the backlog is causing unintentional injustices as judges are unable to provide timely responses. See you later, Ollie. We've got a court backlog, and women's rights are limited. Women face extreme sexism. Oh, my wife won't be happy with this. in the workplace and at home. In addition, the law prohibits girls from learning natural and social sciences, among other subjects. Women are often paid less than their male counterparts. Furthermore, they have little to no legal protection in cases of domestic abuse. We've got a bloodish problem. So the bloodish people are like really seen as outcasts, aren't they? Judicial rivalry. A political and constitutional dispute has arisen between the Supreme Court and the Ministry of Justice over their respective legal authority, causing tensions within the government. We've got some human rights, freedom of speech and assembly. Others are violated, such as right to a fair trial and protection against police brutality. Oh dear. We've got freedom of the press, though. In ode to all of our playthroughs, maybe we have to stamp that out, you know what I mean? Press, let's mute them. No, let's not do that. So that's the law situation. So the major situation is the backlog and the women's rights. Two major issues there. Economy. Let's go straight to the problems, shall we? Alfonsomics. So our last president has been transformed. Free market reforms. So we're straddling the realms of two distinct economic systems. The ongoing challenge lies in striking a balance between the ideologies and harnessing the potential benefits while mitigating the adverse consequences. Okay. And Energy Protection Act at 20%. So the EPA implemented in 1932 safeguards Sordland's energy industry from excessive foreign ownership. The Act was amended in 1999 to limit foreign ownership in national security sensitive energy corporations at 20%. So no more than 20% foreign energy. So, the problems. Weak transportation links, neglected for years, poorly maintained infrastructure, affecting the movement of goods and services, slowing down daily commutes too. Decreased efficiency, higher transportation costs, and longer commute times. We have an unemployment crisis. Poverty, crime, homelessness, families struggling to make ends meet. People that are qualified can't find work. Brain drain. People leaving to find better jobs. Oh my God. Tax evasion is rife. Trade volumes decreased. The region's economy is declining at a rapid rate due to lack of investment. Crime, homelessness, unemployment on the rise. Must take immediate action to address underlying issues by increasing investment, promoting job growth, and creating new economic opportunities. Rust Belt. The economy of the region of Lauren is experiencing a rapid decline due to lack of investment, rising crime, homelessness, etc. Lack of investment in Angland. Stagnated production. Grooney is barely maintaining growth, and tourism industry at average activity level. Stable, average. I mean, what the hell did tourists want to come here for? Bloody hell. You have got some cultural and natural heritage, to be fair. Right, that's good. Okay. But basically, economy shot to bits. Shot to bits. Right, welfare. I do apologise, but I thought we'll read this. I didn't want to read it all initially, but I thought we'll read it, we'll get a feel and a handle on what's going on, and then that can help us hopefully make some decisions quicker in the future, but we'll see. So, reading welfare principles. The long-standing welfare principles that have traditionally guided the provision of welfare services by the reigning aristocracy are currently under scrutiny and evaluation. So, we might be in need of welfare reform. Voluntary vaccination policy. Interesting. And freedom to teach, freedom in curriculum. Educational institutes are granted the freedom to teach creationism or evolution as part of their curriculum. This ensures that schools have the autonomy to choose the approach that aligns with their educational philosophy. Okay. Right. Good. We've got overburdened welfare system. Significant challenges due to a variety of factors such as lack of adequate funding and political mismanagement. As a result, the system is overburdened and struggling to provide essential services to those who need them most. Many vulnerable individuals and families are finding it increasingly difficult to access the support they need to survive, let alone thrive. Again, poverty, homelessness, low quality rural healthcare. We've probably experienced this as a child. Lack of basic hygiene and medical facilities resulted in several illnesses and deaths, leading to a serious public health concern. The shortage of medical staff in these areas also adds to the challenges in providing prompt and effective medical care. Right. Inaccessible rural education. So the rural places are getting really, really hammered here, and we've come from a rural background, so we might have a bit of empathy here with these rural places. The distance between the villages and the towns and the nearest schools make it difficult, not to forget the transportation links are poor as well. Not going to help, is it? And then that has long-term effects on the social and economic development of the country as a whole. Inconsistent curriculum. That's probably due to the fact that we're allowing people to freedomly choose. Educational gaps, right, solist education. So this is learning about all the kind of history, the principles, the values that were brought in by Tarquin Sol. Hopefully making people become more sort of, in love with their own country. We've got good urban institutions though. So in the urban areas, we've got good institutions to provide support for those in need. So urban areas well looked after. Rural areas forgotten about. That's what we're getting here. Right, policies, yeah. Order. State security privileges. Members of the security apparatus in Sordland enjoy privileges that benefits extend beyond those available to the general population. Special provisions if you're part of the state security. We've got corruption going on though. Lots of corruption. Government officials, private sector actors, lack of trust has been as the result of that. We've got illegal immigration. There's loopholes in the system that are being exploited. And there's us letting refugees in willy-nilly a few years ago. We've got organised crime. The Coronelli and the Skinner cartel, among other dangerous criminal organisations, continue to conduct organised crime activities while remaining elusive to law enforcement. Their legal operations have caused significant harm to society and the rule of law, and efforts to stop their activities have been largely unsuccessful. Can we take on these gangs? Oh God. Dispute with the governor of Bergia. We're in a legal dispute. Okay, and there's still some threat from the Bloods, Crips, Bloods and Crips. Is that what's it? Is that bloody, bloodish, bloody hell. Right. Okay. Finally, diplomacy. We're an AN member, we're an OMEC member, and we are neutral. Autonomous, neutral. Rumberg expansion. We like Rumberg. We've got a lack of allies. We've got some foreign influence over our energy sector, but it is limited to 20% ownership. If we remember, we are an influential OMEC member, key member of the founding members of OMEC. We've got experienced diplomats. And the energy prices are balanced. Well, flipping hell, summit that's gone right. Transport sucks, welfare's on its backside, education down the pan for if you live in the countryside. But hey, you're paying a reasonable price for your gas and electric. It's more than we can say at the moment, isn't it? Right, okay, so that is our overview of the different situations and policies that are in play. And if you can remember any of those, you're doing a better job than me. But basically what we learned from that is there's a lot of problems. There's a lot of problems here, and we can't put them all right, can we? So we're going to have to think about what kind of priority we want to put to certain things here. Shut that down then. Right, where did that come from? It come from here? Yeah, that was a country overview. Right, perfect. Regional map. Can't click on that. Good. One less screen to worry about. Growth. Projected economic growth. Downwards. I saw on the main screen that there was a space for a DLC, and I thought, hasn't this game been out for ages? Why are they only releasing DLCs now? But I don't know, maybe it came out not as long ago as I thought. Okay, so 7 is the government budget and 1 is our personal wealth. We can't click on them, but government budget, personal wealth. Right, what's these? We've got some news. There are no news articles. We've got various different newspapers. It's quite cool. So that was the overview that we've just seen. Connections. Cabinet. Vice President Peter Vecton. Zarman. For heaven's sake. That's the codex and that's the journal. Turn 1. We have won the election in 1953. New chapter begins. Decisions. Notepad. Oh, somebody warned me about this notepad and says you might want to use a notepad. We've got a notepad. We've got reports, which we can actually search. This is quite an in-depth game, isn't it? There's me thinking, it's a little, little bish bash bosh job. Oh no, we've got a notepad. Got reports that we can search. Right, okay, so we might make use of that notepad at some point. We might have to keep track of who we're speaking to, who we're kind of allying with, decisions that we've made, problems that we're trying to prioritise. I mean, I'd prefer to use a paper and pen, but we've got a notepad in the game if we need it. Right, turn 1, connections. So Lucien Gallard is Chief of Staff, Joseph Lancia, Defence Minister, Economy Minister, Agricultural Minister, Foreign Affairs, Education Minister, Health Minister, Interior and Justice. Now, technically speaking, if we were going to go all in here, then we would really want to actually click on every single one of these people and see who they are, see what makes them tick, because they're our cabinet. You know, bloody hell, got to call upon these people. But that's something that I'm going to do off camera, I think. But I do want to actually understand these people, who they are. You know, Defence Minister, I mean, look at him. Don't mess about with him, would you? Captain during the Sordland Civil War. Served under the command of Colonel Tarquin Sol, for example there. Economy Minister. Another man with brown glasses. Anyway, so that's our way in to look at people. So I think we're done. I think we're done with the readings. I'm going to get me dinner brought forward. Start munching away. Apologise, but I'm rather hungry. And then we'll start clicking buttons, I think, and see what we can find. So, election campaign promises. As Anton Rain, you have made consequential promises to people of Sordland to gain their votes in the 1953 election. After the recent market reforms and the recession, the country finds itself stuck between two different economic systems, with indecision and turbulence causing the population to demand a direction. Promote planned economy, promote market economy. Okay. Now, this is where my lack of political knowledge comes into effect. What's planned? Which is which? What do they mean? Now this is where you come in as my advisors. Forget Peter. You are the collective Peter. Planned economy is Soviet Union style, which is, excuse me, government managed economy. So like nationalisation, state determines what is needed to be produced. That sounds good. I'm an economist, so if anybody is best placed to help this crisis, then it is to switch away from the last geezer's calamity and somebody with a strong economic background planning the economy. Planned economy. So I think we're going to go planned economy as our first decision. All those in favour say aye. We could actually start running polls and, you know, like your cabinet. Ooh. Everybody saying aye? Who's saying nay? Let's have a vote. Come on. Let's see. I mean, I'm not going to listen to you necessarily, but I was quite intrigued as to see what my advisors are saying here. Look at the post office. Hang on, more decisions. Diplomatic leaning. The global rivalries between capitalist Arcasia in the west, the monarchy of Rumburg to the north, and the communist United Kuntana to the east are intensifying. Sordland has the potential to align with others or lean towards neutrality. Now, one of the negatives that we had was we have no allies, I seem to remember. So aligning with one or the other could be a means into getting an ally. So if we were going to align, then I don't know. My gut reaction is to remain neutral, basically. But I'm just intrigued as to the other options here. Communist. I never understood. Somebody explained this to me before, and I've forgotten what communist means. don't be owing things to others. Considering that we've just come into power here, I don't think instantly aligning with, or lining rather, with somebody is probably the best option right off the bat. Maybe we might be able to choose a bit later, perhaps. But so if we're going to lean, we might be more inclined to lean with United Cortana, maybe. Similar ideals in a way, perhaps. So it's a choice between allying with the East or my gut reaction was to remain neutral, but you know, that's me. I'm trying to portray somebody that's rather economically savvy here. Social equality, which sometimes goes to the extremes. Right, well, I think we need to feel ourselves into this presidency and foreign policy and all that. I think for now, I think neutrality is the key. Immigration policy. In the last 5 years, Bloodish, Wessex and Agnolian immigrants flocked to Sordland due to relaxed immigration laws. As a result, these tensions are causing requests for a political solution. Toughen or relax? We've got immigration problems, we've got unemployment, we've got homelessness. I don't think that having more and more immigrants coming in is a good thing, because I'm just thinking about numbers. I'm thinking about the immigration problems that we've just read about on the screen. So I think we've got to clamp down a little bit and toughen the immigration laws. We have to do. Term focus. I heard a certain military officer let them in years ago. Uncle Mars, welcome. UncleMozilla, thank you very much for the thumbnail, by the way. This is the thumbnail. This is the thumbnail man himself. Good to see you in the stream, Uncle Mars. Hope you're well. Right, term focus. We need to focus on something this term. Education. The once praised public education system of the nation has suffered significant setbacks in the last decade. The lack of new schools, high student-to-teacher ratios, low teacher salaries, and even a lack of classroom equipment in certain parts of the country cause massive divergences in the public education system. Now, long-term wise, it's not a bad idea, because focus on education, you're going to get, like in 10, 15 years, the benefits of that. But we're not in a situation for long term at the minute, are we, really? We're kind of in it for, we need to bring this round right now, really. So let's have a look what else is available. Defence. Now, our defence is pretty poor. But I don't think defence is a priority, unless the game is going to have us go to war, which it might do. The Swedish Armed Forces were the nation's most funded branch until Alfonso government reduced the defence budget significantly. With the increase of sabre-rattling threats looming in the north by Rumberg and a growing presence of the superpowers in the region, critical deterrence matters more than ever. Law enforcement. The recently culminating political tensions between the different youth groups and socio-economic pressures between the multiple classes of society is increasing the issues of the law and enforcement systems. Police need help keeping up with the increased crime rates. Judges in courts are dealing with the backlog of legal cases. Health. Stagnated. Average life expectancies dropped significantly. Interesting. Right. Yeah, the music is pretty cool. You're not the first person to say that this stream either. A couple of people have mentioned the music and I think somebody wants to download it. It's nice background music if you're doing tasks, I think. I could see myself having this playing whilst I'm working from home. I might try it tomorrow. Put this on in my Bluetooth speaker. Whilst I'm working at home, have this ticking away, and all I'll be thinking about is education or health. Hang on a second. Hang on, manager. Can I just put you on mute for a second? Can I just put you on hold? Just got to sort something out. Hang on a second. Education, health. Again, it's taking me back to the game. This music. Right. Okay. Long-term investment education, right? It is a long-term investment. Maybe it's because I'm an ex-teacher, but I'm thinking education is always the starting point. Defense, law enforcement is also important, you know? This is our focus for this term, by the way. So we're looking at the next 4 years. Yeah, funding the military, not a good idea if the military are getting sticking their noses in politics. That's a good point. It's between education and health for me. My initial reaction was education, because that's a long-term investment, and you educate the people. You know, so it's the whole kind of give the man a fish kind of situation, isn't it? So we're going to give all these people education on how to use a flipping fishing rod. Think about the situation in the country. I am thinking about the situation in the country. It's in a disarray. And I think also by focusing on education, didn't it say that the rural education system is significantly suffering? And we've come from the rural parts of town. We grew up as a farmer's child. We grew up as a poor person. So, you know, funding and helping with education, not just in the towns and cities, but also in the rural areas, would bring a smile to our face. I've clicked it now. I've clicked it. 2 weeks have passed since we won the election. And now I was about to be sworn in as the 4th president of Sordland. Thousands were watching the inauguration ceremony and cheering my name. Anton Ray! Anton Ray! Anton, we're there. Glasses on, fedora on our head, prim and proper, giving a wave to the people. Hello. Glorious day. I'm about to go very grey very quickly, I feel. Have you ever seen like presidents, prime ministers, when they're in power, when they get in power, and then even after just a single term, how much more haggard they look? It's a common phenomena. It ages you. I'm not corrupted, I'm just waving to my people. I'm a friendly fella. The die was cast. Okay, so what, is the Maroon Palace like the White House then, is it? I pick a maroon suit and my residence is the Maroon Palace. It's like we were meant to be. It's like we were meant to be. We foresaw this happen. It's like fate. We're bound to be a success now. I looked at my family. My wife's eyes were glimmering with pride. And I turned towards the key people who made it all possible. Of course, each individual was promised an important position in my government. I saw my previous rival and former president, Ewald Alfonso, who gave me a slight nod. Tarquin Saul was also invited, but as expected, he didn't leave his island retreat. Chief Justice. Who is this fella? Holy hell. Chief Justice, also Hawker. As my thoughts slowly faded away, the reality of the situation dawned on me. Also Hawker, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, was waiting for me. Chief Justice since 1937. He's been here for quite a while. A staunch establishment supporter. The most powerful and divisive figure in Swordish politics. And he's wearing Gryffindor robes. Gryffindor! Right, Supreme Court. What's the Supreme Court? It's the highest legal body for constitutional and judicial review. Okay. If you're from America, this is probably all very, very similar. From the UK, we don't have all of these kind of things, you see, so it's very confusing for me. House of this, House of that, Supreme Court this. What? The time for the oath has come. Oh, we're going to be sworn in now. I am ready, we say. Please repeat after me. I do solemnly swear. I, Anton Rain, do solemnly swear. We probably have a Supreme. Do we have a? I don't think we have a Supreme. What is a Supreme Court? We have a Court of Appeal. Is that not the same thing? I don't think we have a Supreme Court, you know. Or maybe we do. It's formed in 2009. What, the UK Supreme Court? Do we have a... We must have a Supreme... No, we do have a Supreme Court. Oh, we do. Okay, there we go. I do solemnly swear that I will respectfully execute the office of the President of Sordland. And, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend. Indeed. Yeah, you're supposed to repeat it. And to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend. Straighten my hat. Probably taking that hat off, to be fair. So, you know, respect, you know what I mean. But to preserve, protect, and defend the people and the Constitution of the Republic of Sordland. You may now deliver your inauguration speech, Mr. President. An honour it is. Ooh, now how do we open the address? Ooh, interesting. I am one with the people, therefore... There can only be one option here. There can only be one option here. My fellow swords. The crowd looked very eager to listen. The idea of unity, the current dire situation, change and hope. Let's just focus on positives. Positivity. Unity. It's always a good one, isn't it? Yeah, together we can do this. Yes. It's going to require all of our efforts, jointly. For many generations, this country and its long history have kept us tied to an idea. The idea of unity and our people's right for a free and prosperous life. We have got adversity, so we need to prevail. In the past, there have been times of survival, times of conflict, and economic hardship too. But whenever we stood together, we prevailed. That is a very, very extreme promise. Rewrite our broken constitution? No. Do you know what? We're going to go all in here. I promise you. Oh, God. Anton, no. This is Peter. No, no. We will stop this recession. And we will eliminate poverty. That is very... You're having a laugh. That is a bold claim that's probably going to haunt you for the rest of your days. Like that poor woman that was crushed by a tank. Change now, not in the next decade or years. Today, our capacity as a nation has never been greater. It is time for a united and powerful Sordland once again. So yeah, we're just keeping it all about unity, all about being united, and together we will restore Sordland as the powerhouse it once was. Here, hundreds and thousands of people cheered at the tops of their lungs, shouting, "And done, and done, and done." Took my breath away. Took my breath away, it did. I felt the responsibility, the power, but the burden. The burden weighs heavy. The burden of the people. Not just one person, not a handful of people, not a school full of people, a nation full of people whose troubles weigh heavy on my shoulders. Quite the burden to bear, is it not just that? We're not raising a fist here. We are waving. Thank you. God bless you all. Thank you. It made them cheer louder, so I waved more vigorously, and it became a rock concert. No. And the people are going mad here. Oh, if only they knew just who was in control of Anton, then they wouldn't be cheering at all, would they? They'd be holding their hands. Oh no, not him. Oh God, he's got a poor track record in these type of affairs. People trying to clamber over and touch us, and security beating them back. Oh my God, it turned into a bit of a farce. But I took a sweeping gaze out amongst my people to ensure that all the faces that I could possibly remember, the look of hope in their eyes, tears, some of them, caught up in the emotion of it all. They were convinced that their fortunes were going to change with me being sworn in here. I had to make sure that I remembered the whole lot of it. And when I was tired, or when I'm going to be tired, or when things are getting me down, or when I'm facing adversity amongst my own party, or in the house, or wherever the hell we need to get stuff done, remember this image, and that shall spur me onwards to fight, to persevere, to give my all. And as we're drinking it all in, we get a tap on the shoulder. Who snaps us out of it? Oh, God. One of the guards came to notify me that it's time to go, sir. It's time to go, Mr. President. Is it? Oh, sorry about that. I was just having a moment. And I go to my armoured motorcade car, sit down, and take a deep breath. The state car was a jet black Cadilla with flags of Sordland right at the front headlights. Man holding a door. "Hello, Mr. President," says my driver and bodyguard, Sergei Waltner. "Sergei, it's you." Oh. I still felt a bit euphoric after the event. "Mr. President," he says. Yes, I'm the president now. He's right. Bloody hell. "Yes, made me smile, Mr. Waltner. Right, he's a Swedish driver who serves as the presidential driver of President Anton Rain." There he is. Protective driving? What the hell is protective driving? Isn't it just driving quickly away from trouble? Mowing people down? I don't know. Protective driving? I've never heard of protective driving before. Okay, we're in safe hands apparently. Right, good. "I am Sergei, your new driver." We'll keep it formal for now. We just met the man. "Nice to meet you, Sergei. Thank you for holding the door open for me." Excuse me. It's the speech, you see. Is there any water in here, Sergei? "It's an honour, Mr. President, sir." Jeez. Oh. Down the wrong hole. Something's gone down the wrong hole here. Oh. "The President's been poisoned." Right. He respectfully bowed his head before opening the car door and gesturing inside. We enter the car. And the motorcade begins to move. Whilst he's explaining his duties as a driver, we're not really paying attention because all the things are running and swimming through our mind. What we've seen, what we've said, what's lay ahead of us, the problems. We've been briefed. We've been briefed on the problems of the land. You know, immigration issues, education issues, underfunded health issues, interfering military issues, the whole kit and caboodle. We've been told about it. It's all swimming around. He's there gibbering about. Just drive, Sergei, will you? Lost in thought. Barely paying attention to what we were saying. The game agrees with me. Because that's what I would literally be doing if I was in his position right now. I won't be listening to Sergei. I'll be thinking, Whilst we're lost in thought, Sergei suddenly gestures out the window. Snaps us out of it. What's going on? "Behold, Mr. President, sir, isn't she a beauty? The Maroon Palace." He was right. Sunlight glinted off the palace's many maroon-coloured domes. It was so bright that I had to look away. Every time I look at it, I'm reminded of my duty to this nation. It's just a building, Sergei. No, of course, it's not just a bloody building. So do I, Sergei, so do I. It is the beating heart of the nation, after all. Well said, Mr. President, well said. West Indies have won a test match in Australia for the first time since 1997. Brian Lara was on commentary. Oh my God, he's my favourite cricketer of all time. I didn't realise he was doing comments. West Indies are shockingly bad at cricket. My poor father grew up watching West Indies cricket, and obviously, you know, he was born in the 30s, so he's watched West Indies cricket in its peak, and then watched in the late 90s, early 2000s, as they were basically horrendously bad. We pull up, Sergei opens the doors. We just ponder and pause for a minute before we get out. This is it. We're really doing this, we say to ourselves. Straighten our glasses. We get our hat at the ready to put on as soon as we step out. Our trusty fedora. Straighten our tie. And then we exit. Have a great day, Mr. President. Almogna Westcore. Yes. What does that mean? It's our words, isn't it? It's the words of the Sordlands. I've seen that before. That wording. Where did I see it? I've seen it somewhere before. I'm telling you. We just nod. Yeah, whatever. Oh, it's going to tell us. The famous swordish phrase from the times of revolution, Amogna Westcore. Is this actually Latin, or is this a made-up language? Victern Sistar. Morning will come, victory is close. Victern Sistar, we say to him. Victern Sistar. Victory is close. Victory is a million miles away, mate. I made my way upstairs through the extravagant corridors of the palace. Marble and engraved wooden finishes decorated the interior. A marvel that we just drink in. My footsteps echoed in the colossal halls. The guards bowed their heads in respect as I opened the massive doors to my new office. And so we have been unleashed on the map. Holy flipping cow. We've got Nabel. We've got Estord. We've got Leckenberg. We've got all kit. Oh, this is all Sordland, right? This is all Sordland. Oh, we got different. Oh my God, we've got different things. We've got different things. Open country information. Read reports from different countries. Oh my God. Oh, can we get out of this? How do we back out of this now? Oh, I've just clicked on it now. Republic of Agnolia. Freedom or peril. Open country information. There you go. There's Agnolia. We've got status. Member of OMEC. Member of the AN. Cheap steel imports. Relations friendly. Military weak. Population 11 million. Right. Okay. That's the Kingdom of Agnolia then. Right. We've got kingdoms up here. We've got kingdoms over there. We've got Rumberg kingdoms there. Has the map changed all of a sudden? Where's all the things gone that I was supposed to be pressing? Look at that. Security pacts. Oh yeah, this was it, wasn't it? Yeah, this was it. This was the first map that I came to. So this looks like the map of... This is the zoomed in version of our map. And then if we go to the other board, this is like a zoomed out version. Yeah, look, that's the zoomed out version, so you can see all of the countries side by side, and we've got like all different things going on here. Codex D Sword, right. Oh, and this is probably our notepad. Quite cool how actually the things on the table all relate to options. Right, we've got 7 items of news, all different news articles. Okay, so what we're going to do Hopefully they don't all vanish. Don't vanish, please. Don't vanish. Right, good. Right, I don't even know what we need to do. I'm assuming we just need to click on stuff. We've got items that have got clipboards on them. And we've got an exclamation mark icon there. So I'm thinking probably the exclamation mark icon would be a good place to start. So this is Hull Sword, capital city. So first of all, we're going to read the news articles. Then we're going to click on this one, see what happens, and then we're going to end the stream not too long after that. Because what I want to do is I want to just do a lot of clicking off camera and just click about, see what things are saying. So that I've got a handle, because there's quite a lot going on here. How do you save it? Oh, you can't save it. Clipboards are important reports. Exclamation marks are story related and advances time. So I should probably read all the reports first and then advance the time. Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling me? Yep. Which means we've probably come to a natural end point then, because I don't anticipate reading all these reports on camera. I've got a dinner that's going cold. I kind of want to do a lot of the reading of the reports off camera, which may sound a bit strange because you're going to miss out in some respects. And we've got to be careful here because there's no save feature other than auto saving. So if something happens and you miss it, I've got to be very careful. So I might record. What I might try to do is do some of like the reading bits. I don't know, I'll have to have a think about this. I was thinking of doing as maybe recorded sessions, but anyway, let's have a look at the news. The Hull Sword Post. Campaign bill, fair representation in the Assembly. The long-stalled campaign bill has once again taken centre stage in the Grand National Assembly. The bill, first proposed during the Alfonso presidency, had been put on hold due to the 1953 election, but has now been resurrected under President Anton Reign. The proposed amendments ensure a more proportional allocation of public funds, more accurately reflecting a party's influence within the legislative body. And Reign spoke of unity. Thousands attended the ceremony, bringing people's rights for a free and prosperous life. Okay, so that went down well. Right, Sordland today. President Anton Reign. The new president has been sworn into the office by the Chief Justice, also Hawker. Another great win for the USP and Anton Reign, who got 37% of the vote. First congratulations came from Casaro Kibana of the National Front Party. Oh dear, who are they? Nationalist, ultra-conservative political party. Second biggest opposition party in the Grand National Assembly. Ooh, interesting. The opposition. They finished third in the electoral race and entered into the Assembly. The runner-up of the general election, the PFJP, didn't concede until the last minute. The results were clear. People's Freedom and Justice Party. Liberalism and Social Democracy. Not too dissimilar from our ideals, really. Thousands of supporters have gathered into the streets of Dare, chanting campaign slogans, waving flags and displaying USP party banners to display unwavering support to the newly elected president. Public mood is very positive. The city is celebrating their today-born president with humble roots. He's now sitting in the room. You see? Humble roots. Man of the people. Economists. End solonymics. Okay, new era has begun. Our top economic analysts, with consultation from the National Business Council, have released a comprehensive report on the performance of the past 20 years. A certain section of the report stands out. The last two 4-year plans of the plan doctrine created a budget deficit and a clear reduction of the industrial production output. Mismanagement and inefficient bureaucracy was to blame. The year-on-year growth budget balance and production index values indicate that the two most productive consecutive years had been when the privatisation programme began. Okay. President Rain must take the advice of planned economy proponents around him with a pinch of salt. Otherwise, he could find himself in the same spot of Tarquin Sol in the mid-40s. Ooh, planned economy. Ooh. See you later, Oliver. Restructure the infrastructure. Infrastructure investments can be fruitful in the short term, but even more so in the long term, especially if they focus on linking economic nodes, business, blah, 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 blah. I mean, he's probably reading this and thinking quite, you know, economic paper. Very good, very interesting. Me, this is all mumbo jumbo. Right, the Lasher Shaben Times. New assembly begins duty. So this is just a rundown of the seat numbers. 130 seats for us, 70 for the PFJP, the PFJP. We have to think of a name that rolls off the tongue here. PFJP, and the NFP 40 seats and Independents 10 seats. Radical. Another USP president. How many times will people fall for the same trap? We've seen this before with Colonel Sol, who was supposedly saved this country and brought stability in times of chaos. His stability, however, meant a life of oppression. Any opposing voices were silenced and many were persecuted. Next was Alfonso, who was elected as the liberal reformer to bring change to the USP and Sordland. Seeing his unfortunate inability, his own cabinet resigned. As the third USP candidate becomes president, it is high time to realise that real change won't come from their party. And the Geopolitan refused to comment. Right. Got these. What are these here? Reporter ingot. Nice picture there. Look at that. Democratic Republic of Valskaland. Valskaland. Right, okay. That just takes us to the map over there. Right, okay. So these are just all. Let me just click on one. I'll just click on one of the reports just to see how it looks. It's just city. Oh, this is city information. So first of all, we look at the city. This is the Leshaven city. This is the port town, the gateway, largest trade ports in eastern Macopa. It's got a PFJP mayor, and it's the industrial centre. 3.3 million. Okay, interesting. Gives you a rundown. There's Laren. There's Leshaven. Right, Leshaven. Let's have a look at the report. Port of Leshaven loses importance. The latest marine traffic reports show that the port of Leshaven is no longer the busiest of the Macopa continent, falling behind to the third position. While this is a negative indicator for our administration, Leshaven still has the potential to shine again as a major trading centre. So basically, our port is on the downturn. Okay, so we can just rifle through these reports actually, because I think the reports will go into the codexes, right? Or the notes. Past reports. Leshaven. There you go, so we can read those. Oh, so that makes it easy. So I can skim through these off camera, for example, and then when I come to start, I can just quickly run through them very, very, very swiftly. This is Arvery. Lack of investment. Oh, surprise. Mayor of Arvery. What is that? Is Arvery within? It's a different country. Okay. Who gives a crap? Low production in Agnaland. Alarmingly low levels of productivity growth. Food insecurity, malnutrition, rural poverty. So they've got it tough. Also, you got these two, yeah. So these places have got it pretty bad, haven't they? In the northern regions. Okay. What else we got? We've got some more reports over here. So let's skim these reports. We'll skim all of these reports before we finish, actually. I have decided now. Right, this is Republic of Agnolia. So we've seen some of the reports that we've just read from the towns. So which report is this then? Congratulations from PM Van Horten. Giving us congratulations. He signalled his wishes to continue the trade partnership between our countries as equal partners as opposed to earlier trade deals which he believes gave Sordland unfair advantages. Okay, sounds good to me. Equality is the key. I'm not adverse to that. This is Valsland, just to a little island to the northeast there of us. Congratulations from Chancellor Hegel. Sent his congrats to us. Wish for close cooperation between our countries in the future. Signal concessions from Valsland in case of a promising trade deal. He also congratulated the Swedish democracy for the successful elections and warned us about the threat Arcasia's growing influence poses for Eastern Mercopa. People are already trying to wrangle for some, I don't know, some kind of alliance, some kind of friendship, protections maybe. Right, who are this? This is Arcasian Treaty Organization. Global human rights amid tensions. Intergovernmental military and economic alliance of 14 countries, led by Arcasia, has issued an expansive report examining the state of human rights worldwide. Nuclear developments, efforts to counteract the expanding influence of the Contanan Security Pact. Eastern Mercopa, human rights are endangered apparently, which we've already read about because our police are brutal. Okay, cool. That report. Congratulations from Prime Minister Alvarez. Thank you, Prime Minister Alvarez. And best wishes to our people and warned us about the threats of the encroaching Malenvist influence of the United Contana. Warning us about potential enemies. And this is Valen. Congratulations from President Smolak. Wish for a cooperative future between Wayland and Sordland, signalling a desire to normalise the diplomatic situation between the two countries. And there we go. Oh, what's that? What is that? Right, okay, so we've read all the reports, which will all now hopefully sit nicely in our little report tab. Past reports, yep, there they all are. We can read them again if we want, but I think we've got the general gist of them. Most of them are just congratulations on our election victory, which is very nice of them. We shall certainly bear them in mind. At least they had their common courtesy. But there you go, first day in the office. We've been handed loads of reports by Peter. We've read them all. Thank you. Oh, congratulations again. Thank you. Yeah, what's that? Human rights. Oh, we'll be working on those, don't worry about that. Yeah, and congratulations from Chancellor such and such. Yeah, thank you very much. And yeah, very good. Scatter the papers to the ends of the desk. And have a cup of tea. Because, you know, that's what you do when you're a bit, when you're a bit overwhelmed, have a cup of tea. It's a bit, you know, day one of your job, it's a bit too soon to be heading to the alcohol cabinet, isn't it? Cracking open a double. No, we're having a cup of tea and just sat behind our desk, pondering what is to come. Right, it's 10 o'clock. I was going to finish streaming at 10:30, but we've reached a natural end point here. So, between now and the next session, what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to get myself a notebook, pen and paper, and I'm going to sit and I'm going to do a lot of reading before the next session. So I've got a lot of work ahead of me. And I'm going to be looking at my cabinet. I'm going to be looking at all of these various areas, all these little things on here, and just basically trying to get a handle on as much as I can about the law, so that when I come to the next stream, I'll be ready to rock and roll. I'll share with you what I found from my readings, and then we shall press onwards with the story, and we'll play it like that. I think so. Yeah, but I think we're in for a good ride here. I'm really enjoying this game. It is a lot of reading, but you know, I've played games where it's been nothing but a reading game, so it's not a major issue. The issue that I've got is just being overwhelmed with all the different things, which when I have done my off-camera work, I'll be much more comfortable with all the nuances of, you know, clicking things does this and whatever else. That's the biggest issue for me is that side of it rather than the actual reading itself. So by the next session, I think I will be in a very good place to start pressing on quite nicely with the game proper. So, but yeah, we're in power. There he is, bottom left, our Anton Rain, looking dapper, looking smart, looking like a face you can trust. He is a man of the people. Will the people love him in 4 years' time? Will he make it to 4 years? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the game throws in. I'm completely, utterly clueless about this game. I haven't played it before. I haven't watched any playthroughs of it, so I don't know what can happen, what can't happen. Can we be assassinated? Can we fail without even reaching the end of our term? Can we have multiple terms? All completely not a clue. We'll just play it by ear and see where the game takes us. But anyway, enjoy the rest of your evening, folks. Have a good one. Tomorrow is Monday, stream day. I'll be streaming Alan Wake. And we'll take it from there. Next stream of this is probably going to have to be next Sunday. If anything, if I spot anything that I think might benefit from a recorded session, I might do a recorded session before then, actually. But yeah, next stream might be Sunday, because Tuesday I can't stream before football now, because I'm off to the travel agents. Wednesday I'll be streaming Baldur's Gate again, and then that's it until the weekend. So yeah, unless I get a Thursday streaming before football, could maybe stream some of this before football, we'll see. But yeah, have a fantastic week ahead. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, whatever you are choosing to do. Thanks for watching, and come prepared for the next stream, my friends, because you're my advisors, and you know, if there's any decisions to be made, I may be coming out for your pearls of wisdom, for your thoughts, and together we shall make Sordland great again. Until next time, folks, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.